Hello there! Yes, the worst kept secret in Doctor Who history, in entertainment history, is out. Matt Smith will step down as the Doctor in the 2013 Christmas special. I've been telling you for months and months and months on my Facebook, which I'm Mick Meanus on Facebook by the way. On Twitter I've been telling you I'm Geektastic555, and on here since I've been doing my Doctor Who videos I've been telling you it's game over for Matt Smith. He's stepped down. Now obviously with these things normally you never hear they've been sacked or been asked to leave. It's been his decision because he's going to further his Hollywood career, but who knows what's going on. But let's get this straight, guys. Matt Smith did extremely well to stay in this role for 3 years because there were problems with it, with this era, for a very long time. And you can't blame Matt. Matt is a great actor, but a great actor doesn't always make a great Doctor. With Doctor Who, it's not just a case of being a great actor, it's a case of having something within your character and putting that into the role and making it this magnificent, crazy character that the Doctor has always been for the past 50 years. So, you know what? I knew it was coming, but I've been taken off my stride. I didn't expect it to happen today, people. So, I mean, where do we start? I mean, as I say, I believe Matt really tried hard, but I never thought Matt Smith was great casting. That's my personal opinion. Obviously, if you want to chuck tomatoes at me and tell me I'm a blah blah blah, you can. But in my opinion, Matt Smith was always the wrong choice. Not because he's not a great actor, I'm sure he's a lovely guy. And also, it was always hard for Matt. Coming in after David Tennant was just an impossible gig, wasn't it? And it wasn't helped. I'm sorry, Mr. Moffat, you just haven't helped things. The way that you've gone at Doctor Who, the way you tore down what Russell T Davies did, which was magical and that appealed to all the age groups. I think one of the biggest thing was driving away children from the Doctor Who viewership is a very damning indignation. I can't even say it. Anyway, what I'm saying is, under Russell T Davies, the kids love Doctor Who. There's not so many kids now watching Doctor Who. Now, people talk about the Moffat era and say it's too confusing, the arcs are rubbish. There's nothing wrong with arcs, with story arcs, but they've got to make sense. You can't just put things out there, make them mysterious, but you don't actually know what the answers are. Do you know what I mean? This is what they did on Lost. You always had these mysteries, but they couldn't really solve them. And I don't mind a bit of mystery. I don't mind an unsolved mystery at the end of a season or a series finale. And if that implies that you make your own minds up, especially in this spoon-fed era, I think that's great. But I think you've got to sit down and think about your arc. And the most important thing about it is how you resolve it. I think that's one of the big problems with the arc. I think Russell T Davies is a kind of one-word arcs were genius, weren't they? Bad Wolf, Torchwood. Harold Saxon, or the kind of thing in season 4, which the clue was all the bees have gone missing. What's going on? It just gave you something to think about. And obviously, I think this season we've seen, Rory and Amy go, which I think was telling. When I saw them going, I knew that wasn't particularly really a Stephen Moffat decision, more of a BBC decision. And by them going, I thought it was an admittance of his mistakes, even though he would never admit to his mistakes. And I think it was a rolling up of the Stephen Moffat era. Even though there's certain rumours saying he's going to be the showrunner next year, I don't believe he will be the showrunner. I wouldn't be surprised, people, if Russell T Davies is coming back. It's not a big leap for me to say that. I love Russell T Davies, great guy. And I believe that David Tennant will... I know he's coming back for the 50th, but I believe he is going to be the new Doctor. You think it's impossible? Obviously, with the human Meta-Crisis Doctor about, it's even more possible now that if he and Matt were in a room and Matt was about to regenerate, something could happen to David's Meta-Crisis Doctor and he will be the real Doctor again. This is sci-fi, people. Anything can happen, but let's sit back and digest what's happened. Matt Smith is actually confirmed. We've heard all the rumours. He's denied it. Everyone's denied it. We've pretty much been lied to. It's been pretty much outrageous. But now we can confirm with no doubt. All we know at the moment is Matt Smith's last episode as the Doctor will be in this year's Christmas special. So an opportunity for Moffat really to finish off, which has been a bit a hack job really, hasn't it? I mean, there've been some good episodes there, and as I said, Matt's really tried hard, but for me, I just couldn't really embrace his Doctor, and here lies the problem for me. I am crossing my fingers that Stephen Moffat will step down. I always watch his other stuff because the man's a great writer, but as Doctor Who showrunner, it's never worked for me, and I assume they were never going to announce Moffat stepping down yet. I don't think they want to do that, especially for Stephen Moffat, because he obviously knows there's so many people willing him to step down. But I do believe it's a foregone conclusion. Stephen Moffat will step down. Now with Smith going, and the companions earlier on in the season going, I think it's the end for Stephen Moffat. I don't know what this means for Jenna Louise Coleman as Clara. I mean, there was some radio interview which she allegedly said she'll be in it next year. You can't believe anything that anyone says working on Doctor Who pre any announcement. You know, they will not make any official announcement that will affect their ratings. And as I said to everyone, that they weren't being honest about the Moffat and Smith exits because they wanted to wait till the last possible moment. And obviously Smith's been announced now. It had to happen now. Had to happen eventually. It had to happen before the 50th. They had to come out and say it because obviously maybe something's going to happen in the 50th. I don't know. I don't know why they've announced it now. I suppose they could have announced it after the 50th. But I suppose it does get people excited about the regeneration at Christmas and who will be the next Doctor. And I think I've talked enough about what I think of the Moffat era, what I think of Matt Smith as the Doctor. Now we have to look forward. Let's just say my wish of Davies and Tennant coming back doesn't come true, and possibly I'm wrong. I've been wrong once or twice in my life. But what does this all mean? Well, who could it be? Since it's come back, we really haven't had a big name as the Doctor. Eccleston's the biggest name we've ever had as the Doctor. I know we're obviously having John Hurt, which is massive, but that's within a story, and yes, he's going to be the Doctor, but obviously we don't know how it's all going to finish off. The thing might be wiped by the end of the 50th, so who knows? So, I mean, at this moment in time, Eccleston's really been the most famous Doctor, I think. You know, that was amazing. That was a shock that they got him. Who will they get next? Well, I would have liked David Morrissey, to be honest with you. I thought that would have been awesome. But looking like he's re-signed for Walking Dead, he's definitely going to be in the next season of Walking Dead, which is season 4, right? So we're not going to get David Morrissey. Yeah, we're going to get an unknown. And obviously, the controversial subjects of a female Doctor and a black or Asian Doctor. As I've always said, those things can affect ratings. A lot of people would spit the dummy out. There's no question about it. It's no good me sitting here being politically correct, pretending that everyone's going to be fine with it. They're not. And it's a big thing. I mean, this week again, Doctor Who's been accused of racism and never having a black actor play the Doctor. This is my take on it. If it's not about, as the BBC statement said this week, it's not about the race, it's about the quality of the actor and if he fits what you're trying to do. Now, for me, if an Asian, black or female actor plays the Doctor and they're brilliant enough to do it and they've got the talent, why not? I'm up for it. If it's done brilliantly and it's compelling, it's enjoyable for me, and there's a lot of meat for me to get my teeth into, then brilliant. I don't mind, honestly, people. But it's really important now that we get the right showrunner, because I do believe Moffat's leaving, and the right guy to play the Doctor. You know, in Eccleston, in Tennant, we had perfection. In Russell T Davies, we had pretty much perfection. I know not all of you will agree with me. And now it's all about the next Doctor. Let's have our guessing games. It's going to be great fun. Let's see what happens. And we will speak soon. And you can chat to me below. So do it. See ya.